Welcome to the channel. Glad to have you guys back here today for SummerSlam Predictions. We have a bit of a special guest, RJ, from the other side of the state. Outside of Pittsburgh, soda, cola, that whole debate. And if you know, the Cauldron of Rock is reuniting. So, SummerSlam. This Sunday, the 23rd, WWE Network. We got some predictions here. We're going to go over them, but we're going to do this a little bit differently than we have in the past. We're going to have 30 seconds. Each person's going to have 30 seconds to make your case, state your argument, whatever you may be, on who they think is going to win this. After that 30 seconds, you will give your pick, and then it will go back and forth until the very end. We have 8 matches on the card for SummerSlam. There's definitely going to be a pre-show. We can already assume that, especially with a couple matches being tonight on SmackDown. But we're not going to count those. We're not going to worry about those. For the 9th match, the tiebreaker match that could potentially come into play, we're going to do Pat McAfee versus Adam Cole, which will be taking place tomorrow night on NXT TakeOver 30. All right, RJ. First match, Dominik versus Seth Rollins, street fight. Let's go ahead and get the timer ready. See what we got here. Ready and go.
First off, it's Ray's son. That's just nice to see a continuation of that line of wrestling heritage. With that being said, I literally don't know how to call this match in any way, shape, or form. I mean, it's Rey Mysterio's son. He's debuting. It's a big deal. You have to have him win. He's green as hell. He's not going to, be on the card for a long time. He's going back to be training. There literally is no way to call this one.
Time.
Ray's son.
Dominik. RJ is going with Dominik. Yeah, 30 seconds goes by quick. Ready? All right. I've got my 30-second timer. I'm going to narrow it down and just say that there is one key word here, one specific key word, and I will revisit this again later. If you're expecting a wrestling match, you're out of your mind. This is a fight. Rey Mysterio lost his eye. This is a street fight. This is a fight. Dominik wins this match. So, both of us going with there. The next match we have on the card. Let's let the timer run itself down. And Asuka versus Banks, go.
Honestly, you got to give it to Asuka. Bayley has had her run. It's time to start the feud between Banks and Bayley. Bayley's had a belt. Sasha gets to gloat now. Starts the turn. It's that simple.
So you're going Asuka. All right. I'm going to go ahead and reset the timer. So Asuka versus Banks, Raw Women's title. We're going to go ahead and play on the fact that Sasha Banks still has issues defending singles titles. Asuka will win this match. We will revisit the SmackDown one later because this all kind of ties in together. But Asuka walks away with the Raw Women's title. Next match on the card. We have Apollo versus MVP for the U.S. title. Go.
It's going to MVP. Plain and simple. The Hurt Business, they're getting a push. Apollo, he recently just got his last name back from the whole cruise situation. You have Bobby Lashley. You have Shelton Benjamin. MVP signed a contract. Let the MVP show he's that good.
So you're going MVP?
Yes, sir. Got to go with him.
All right. We're letting the timer run itself down. 2, 1. All right. 30 seconds. So Apollo versus MVP, the U.S. title match. I think this is going to be Apollo Crews. I think Apollo is going to take this match. He's going to strategically run through the Hurt Business. Unfortunately, I don't think he should, but I believe Apollo is going to win this match. Just not sure how. But Apollo Crews, nonetheless. And the time, here we go. We're going to delete. We're going on to the next one. Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville. Hair versus hair match. Go.
It's been an interesting development. This feud kind of came out of nowhere. Heavy machinery, Otis, all that jazz. Here's the thing. Come down to hair versus hair. Who's going to look better without hair? The answer is simple. Sonya Deville is the one who would agree to lose her hair. Mandy Rose won't. Then you also hurt Otis. You hurt your Money in the Bank winner. It's going to be Mandy Rose winning. Sonya Deville loses her hair, and you keep your Otis Mandy thing intact.
All right, 30 seconds. Here we go. So I'm going to go back a step. Try to think of any face that has lost a hair versus hair match. Mandy Rose is winning this. Sonya Deville is going to lose her hair. But the question remains, will she let Mandy shave it, or will she just shave it herself? Will she be completely bald? It's a lot of questions. Mandy Rose is winning this one. All right. Next one, we're going to Bayley versus Asuka for the SmackDown Women's title. Go.
Like I said before, this is part of a long-term build towards WrestleMania. Sasha Banks, she walks away with her title intact. Bayley drops to Asuka. Asuka is deserving of a title win, but Bayley held it over Sasha's head. She was women's champion the whole time. Banks wasn't. It's time to flip, build towards the WrestleMania match, build towards that.
So who are you going for on this one?
Asuka.
You got Asuka winning this one.
Yeah. Asuka beats Bayley, but loses to Sasha Banks.
Okay. See, I had that the other way around for you because I thought you said Asuka was beating Banks. Okay, so you have Sasha Banks keeping the Raw, and you have Asuka taking SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 30 seconds on the clock. And we're going. So Bayley versus Asuka for the SmackDown Women's title. I agree. This is a long-term build. I don't think it's going to go to WrestleMania. But what I will say is I have Bayley winning and retaining the SmackDown Women's title with Sasha Banks' help, even though Sasha lost the title previously in the night. Asuka will not win this title.
Say that again. I got lost for a second there. I want to make sure I heard you right there.
Bayley is retaining the SmackDown title with Sasha Banks' help. And Sasha is losing her title. It'll make sense later, and I'll explain. The next one we're going on to is the Raw Tag Team titles, Street Profits versus Garza and Andrade. Clock, go.
Okay, sorry, but there's no contest here. The Street Profits are walking out. There is no way they're not. They have too much momentum. They've had this memorable rivalry with the Viking Raiders. Andrade and Garza, they started with a feud, not to mention the wellness policy violation. There is no way the Street Profits lose the titles.
So you have Street Profits keeping the titles. All right. 30 seconds on the clock, and we're going. So Street Profits versus Garza and Andrade. The Street Profits have just beat Angel Garza and Andrade every week for the last 5 weeks, it seems. Street Profits are dropping the titles. The Street Profits will lose the Raw titles, and it will come down to Zelina Vega interfering and Bianca accidentally costing them the match. Next one on here, Braun Strowman versus The Fiend, the Universal title. Go.
Honestly, okay, we've seen Braun, we've seen Bray, now we're seeing The Fiend. Either way you have it. Braun Strowman was only in the title picture because Roman Reigns backed out. In that aspect, he's a placeholder. They don't know who they're going to fill yet, so they have to keep it on Braun. Bray is going to keep doing his feud thing with other people, but he is not walking away with the title.
All right, 30 seconds on the clock. So I agree with you partially on this, that obviously Strowman was a fill-in for this. He wasn't supposed to be there. But with that being said, this has been a building story for the last few months. In WWE's term, long-term booking. I'm having The Fiend win this title with Alexa Bliss costing Strowman. Last match on the SummerSlam card, Orton versus Drew, WWE title. Go.
First off, is it bad that this is a match I'm actually not interested in any way, shape, or form? Sorry, Orton, Drew, I'm just not feeling the build. With that being said, Drew McIntyre, his fairy tale story is not done yet. He walks away with his title intact. Orton may make a good heel. He'll give Drew legitimacy for being a champion, but he's not walking away with the title.
So you have Orton, or no, you have Drew keeping the title.
Yes, sir.
All right, 30 seconds on the clock. Orton is doing some of his best work that he's ever done. And Drew McIntyre, unfortunately, never got the proper due to win the title in front of people. Payback is 1 week later. Orton is winning this title, either at SummerSlam or Payback. I'm going to say Orton does it at SummerSlam. Something says it's there. And the last one, the potential tiebreaker. We don't have to go 30 seconds on this one. We can just talk about this one. But we're going to try to keep it short. Pat McAfee versus Adam Cole. What do you say?
Honestly, that this one kind of intrigued me. I mean, when I first started hearing about Pat McAfee, my initial thought was, and forgive me here as a non-football person, why is a computer virus company getting involved in WWE? Yes, I'm not a football person. Anyway, he's like, oh, this is not related. It's a neat little feud, but if anything, you got to give it to Adam Cole. As much as normally celebrities have a history of winning matches, it's a cute little NXT feud. Adam Cole has to go over. If this were a WrestleMania match, I would then give it to Pat McAfee. You know?
So, I touched on it before with the street fight, Dominik versus Rollins. That's a fight. That's going to be a street fight. This one does, as of now, does not have a stipulation on it. But it's going to be a fight. The way that they've been going back and forth, there seems to be legitimate stuff there. This is going to be a downright fight. Now, if it's a wrestling match, Adam Cole wins this. But we're looking at this being just, I have Adam Cole winning as well, which I don't know what that does to the predictions, because I just don't know. We could tie for all we know. I haven't looked at it yet. But I have Adam Cole winning this because he is the guy for NXT. And Pat McAfee plays a really good sniveling heel. However, if these two were to meet in a back alley, you're probably taking Pat McAfee. The former Indianapolis Colts punter. I don't think he has any relation to McAfee, the antivirus people. I don't think so. Who knows? I don't know. Who really knows? All right, so there are the predictions. I guess it's possible to tie, but there's not really anything on the line for this one. But, overall, the card seems to be pretty solid, pretty good. 8 matches on the card, 5 matches on TakeOver. I really don't necessarily see any bathroom break matches per se. So get your drinks, get your snacks, and we're gonna go. Do you have anything you need to throw on here before we?
It's funny you mentioned that.
Oh dear God.
What's not on the card?
What is not on the? Well, let's see. What is not on the card? The IC title is not on. The IC title is not on the card.
First off, AJ Styles, Intercontinental Champion. SummerSlam, one of the big 4 pay-per-views of this entire company. No IC title. With its heritage, you have Matt Riddle, who just debuted, beat AJ Styles, beat John Morrison. No SummerSlam matchup, no IC title on one of the big 4. There's a problem. Second, does anyone remember the Artist Collective? Yes, Sami Zayn is sitting out doing his thing. Tag team champions, Cesaro, Nakamura. Where's their title match? You're telling me in all of the tag teams of SmackDown, you couldn't find a match or feud for them regardless of Sami Zayn? And I got to move on to this one just because this is so integral to the Sasha Banks Bayley split. They literally are the current women's division. They're the champions. They're the tag champions. How can you have a women's division and no women's tag team championship match? Now, in their defense, they already have 2 other matches, so WWE booked themselves into a corner there. But how'd you have those 3 titles not defended on one of the big 4? How?
I'm going to blow up your spot right now, dude. I'm going to blow you up. The IC title being defended tonight against Jeff Hardy on SmackDown. 2 nights before SummerSlam, that'll get added to the card. A rematch of some kind. Something. Maybe not. Maybe
news.
Maybe not. But not here. Not here. This is I believe I saw, this is the first time AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy one-on-one. I could be wrong. And please, internet, if I'm wrong, tell me in the comments, call me an idiot. But they've done it in TNA, but I don't think they've done it in WWE. Number 2, your Artist Collective. They have a tag team title match tonight on SmackDown against Lucha House Party. One of those 2 is getting added to a pre-show. One of them. Now, your Asuka Bayley thing, the tag team titles, why is that not being defended? I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to blow your spot sky high. being defended at Payback the following week. They already have it lined up. WWE has already come out and said Bayley and Sasha Banks will be defending their tag titles on Payback. We don't know who it's against yet, but all three of those title matches, they're already on the books. They're already there somewhere. And Sasha Bayley is the following week at Payback. Payback. Sorry, it's WWE Payback. Should probably rename it WWE Rematch, because what are you going to book in 1 week? But that's where we are with this. This is WWE's logic. If you like what you saw, you want to see more of this, leave a comment below. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell him he's wrong. Call us idiots. Whatever you want to do. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next one.